Good morning, everyone. This is your girl Kim from The Truth About God. Happy Friday. Guys, we made it to the end of another week. Today, I want to talk about temptation. Temptation is everywhere. We open up our phone, it's there. Go outside, it's there. Watch TV, it's there. Temptation is just everywhere. It doesn't matter which way we go, which way we turn. There's going to be some sort of temptation. So we all are being tempted in some sort, some fashion, okay? But the thing I want to talk to you about with temptation is that when it comes to temptations, it doesn't just show up at our door coincidentally. These things don't just drop up out of the sky. Some people wonder, well, where did that come from? Look, temptations start with you, okay? That means that there's a desire in your heart to either eat that food or participate in that act of sin already. Confirmation. Let's go to the story of Eve. We know that Eve was tempted with the fruit. I'm not going to call it an apple because the Bible said fruit. There had to be a temptation in Eve's heart already for the fruit. Meaning that she probably walked by that tree several times throughout the day and was just like, man, that fruit look good. That fruit shiny. It looked more plump than all of the others. I know God told us to eat all this other fruit, but it's something about that fruit. So there was a desire in Eve's heart already. And if you go and you read the conversation between the serpent and Eve, baby, it did not take much for him to deceive Eve into biting into that fruit. And the reason why it did is because, again, it was something that she already wanted to do. And so when it comes to myself and when it comes to you, the sort of temptations that come, we got to pay attention to them for one. All right? Because if they are coming, that means that the enemy sees that we've already thought about doing this, that, we may have considered it, or we may be that person, well, let me just try. Let me do it one time. Look, it only takes one time for an addiction to start. It only takes you to do something one time for it to be sin. Sin is sin at the end of the day. I do have a scripture for you guys. All right, so we're going to read James 1, 13 through 15 today. When tempted, no one should say, God is tempting me. That is another great deception. God, this must be a test. No, God do not tempt us with evil things. For God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone. But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desires and enticed. So that's your evil desire. There's something in your heart and mind that was planted there already, and that's why the enemy is tempting you with this particular thing. So my prayer for you today is that you really seek God, so you can pluck out those evil desires, selfish desires, fleshly desires that are in your heart, so you can be free from those. Again, pay attention to what the enemy is tempting you with. And the last part of this scripture says, then after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin. And sin, when it is fully grown, gives birth to death. Sin can only lead to one place. Don't let the enemy trick you and thinking that I'm only going to do this one time, so I'm going to be cool, I'm going to be all right. Yes, God is a forgiving God. He's a gracious God. But don't intentionally be pulled in and deceived by what the enemy is tempting you with. So that is my prayer for you guys today, that you really seek the face of God and allow him to search your heart to remove those evil fleshly desires. Okay? Now we're going into the weekend. All right? We know weekend is party day, hang out with friends, club, lounge, do what I want. Just make sure that you're careful in the atmosphere that you place yourself in, because 9 times out of 10, temptation is going to be there. Okay? Be like Joseph and flee. All right? But at the end of the day, you need to pray and ask God to remove those desires and wants from your heart. Whatever desire that does not align with his word and his will. So that is my word for you guys today. That is also my prayer. God, go and have a safe and fantastic Friday and weekend. And I will talk to you soon.